You leave the room for just a minute, maybe to grab your coffee, answer a phone call, or check on dinner. But when you come back, your dog has taken your seat. Not the floor. Not the blanket you laid out. Your exact seat. And they're looking up at you with those innocent eyes, tail wagging slightly as if nothing unusual has happened. But what if I told you this moment, this simple act, isn't about mischief or comfort? What if it's something much deeper? What if your dog is trying to tell you something, without a single bark? Because here's the truth most people miss. Dogs don't just take your seat because it's warm. They take it because it's yours. And to a dog who truly loves you, that seat is sacred. It carries your scent, your energy, your presence. When they settle into that space, they aren't just lounging, they're reaching out. Trying to feel close to you in the only language they know. And this single action, this silent, loyal gesture, can speak volumes about the depth of your bond. It might seem innocent. But to your dog, it's a moment of emotional intimacy. A way to cope with your absence. A ritual of loyalty and love. Taking your seat is not a dominance move, it's a declaration of emotional need. It's their way of saying, "You're my person. When you're not here, I find comfort in where you've been." This isn't something all dogs do. It's something that happens when the bond runs deep, so deep that even the echo of your presence brings them peace. And think about this, your dog doesn't just do it randomly. They wait for you to leave. They don't run to just any seat in the room. They choose yours. Every single time. Why? Because in their world, where love is felt more than said, your seat is the closest thing they have to a hug when you're not around. Here's something you probably never thought about. That moment when your dog curls up in your spot is also a reflection of trust. Dogs are creatures of habit and comfort, but they're also pack animals. And in the wild, resting in the leader's spot was a rare honor. It meant safety, connection, protection. So when your dog takes your seat, they're not being naughty, they're saying, "You're my leader. And I want to be close to you, even when you're not here." Now, let's get even more real. If your dog only does this when you've had a rough day, that's not coincidence. That's empathy. Dogs can sense emotional shifts in humans, your tone, your posture, your breathing. They pick up on sadness, stress, even anxiety. So if you've just had an argument or a long day at work, and your dog climbs into your spot the second you get up, it might not be about them at all. It might be their quiet way of absorbing your sadness. Dogs don't just want to be near us when we're happy. They want to carry the weight when we're low. Now here's where it gets really powerful. Some dogs are emotional mirrors. They don't just love you, they reflect your emotional state. And taking your seat? That's a move driven by emotional intelligence. They're wrapping themselves in your scent like a protective blanket. It's their way of holding you together when you're falling apart. Let's flip the perspective. What happens when you come back and see them there? Do you laugh? Do you scoot them off? Or do you pause, just for a moment, and recognize that this is love in its purest form? Because that act, small as it seems, might be one of the most emotionally complex ways your dog expresses affection. It's nonverbal loyalty. It's a dog's love letter, written in silence and scent. And get this, scientists have studied canine bonding and found that dogs experience a neurochemical release of oxytocin, the love hormone, when they're near their humans. Your scent alone can trigger it. So when they lie in your spot, their body is literally responding with the same hormone released when we hug a loved one. They're not just being cute, they're having an emotional, chemical reaction to you. Still think it's just a seat? Now here's a hidden truth no one talks about. Not all dogs do this. Only the emotionally bonded ones. Dogs who are insecure, disconnected, or uncertain about their relationship with their human. They avoid that space. It's not safe to them. So if your dog is one of the few that consistently takes your seat, you haven't just built a bond, you've built trust. Unshakable, loyal, unconditional trust. And when they hop into your chair and stare at the door you just walked through, that's not guilt. That's hope. Hope that you'll see them. That you'll acknowledge the closeness. That maybe, just maybe, you'll sit beside them instead of pushing them away. If you do want to redirect the behavior, do it gently. Invite them onto your lap. Offer a blanket that smells like you. But don't punish them for needing your presence. Because that's all this is, a need to feel close. To feel safe. To feel loved. Here's what no one ever says out loud. The greatest love stories aren't always loud. Sometimes, they're quiet moments. A stolen seat. A soft sigh. A tail thump when you walk by. Dogs don't use words, but they don't need to. Their actions carry the weight of every unspoken emotion. And when your dog takes your seat, they're not just resting, they're remembering you. So next time you find your dog curled up in your spot, don't rush to move them. Don't scold, don't shoo, don't brush it off like it's nothing. Just pause. Watch them. Look at the way their body sinks into the space you left behind. Look at how they breathe a little slower, a little calmer, as if the scent of you is a lullaby for their soul. Let them have that moment. Because in their world, where everything that matters revolves around you, that seat is more than just fabric and cushioning. It's safety. It's love. It's memory. What they're telling you, without barking, without whining, without making a single sound, is something profoundly beautiful. When you're not here, I still want to be close to you. This seat, it smells like home. It smells like us. And when I curl up in it, it feels like you're not really gone. And in that quiet, humble act, lies everything. A silent loyalty that doesn't demand attention. A devotion so deep, it finds comfort in your absence. A kind of love that humans often miss, because we're always moving, always busy, always brushing past the little things. But your dog? They notice every detail. They feel your absence. They ache for your presence. And when they take your seat, it's not mischief, it's memory. It's their way of keeping you close, even when you're just in the other room. So instead of moving them right away, try this. Sit beside them. Rest your hand on their back. Let them feel the warmth of your presence returning. Because that's all they ever wanted, to be near you. To belong in your world. To have one small piece of you when they can't have the whole. And in that moment, something sacred happens. A silent conversation. A connection without words. A reminder that to your dog, you are their entire universe. And that seat? It's their way of saying, I miss you when you're gone. I love you even when you're not looking. And I will always wait right here, because this is where you were, and this is where I feel closest to you. Let them stay just a little longer. Because what they're telling you might just be the most honest form of love you'll ever know. And maybe, just maybe, they're reminding us that the most powerful love doesn't need words. It just needs presence. Does your dog do this? Do they steal your seat and then act like they've done nothing wrong? Or maybe they only do it when you're not feeling like yourself. Drop a comment and tell us your story. We want to hear from real dog lovers like you. And if you want to uncover even more secret ways your dog is telling you, I love you, tap this next video. What your dog does when you yawn might actually break your heart, in the best way possible.